Fucking piece of shit device just, keeps, running low on battery every 5 fucking minutes. I think I'm just gonna have to keep it, plugged in on a at least semi-permanent basis, because it's just getting annoying. Roy ran to the area Mewtwo was. When he reached the half of his way, another big hit was produced. Roy, Chris shouted. He was getting more worried about Roy and Mewtwo. What was happening inside the station? I'm going there now! Ah! Pichu, stay alive! What happened? Chris now was scared. Mewtwo, Roy, and even Pichu were missing. Of those three, Pichu is undoubtedly the most capable. That's why he was listed last. Even Pichu were missing, as opposed to Odd Pichu. Lucario, we must go there and save them. Chris and Lucario ran to the center of the station. They knew their unknown enemy was going there, since their plan was to eliminate the device to destroy the Aperoids. They hid behind a corner. After a minute, the floor was shaking a little. I guess our enemy is big, Chris stated. Shh, he is coming, Lucario whispered, with no H. But yeah, how do they know it's a he? Yeah, don't fucking assume gender. The floor was shaking. There was something big coming from the other side of the hall. Chris just hid behind Lucario in terror. Look, I tell you what, it was a feminazi, because they're really big. That was the enemy. You see, you gave it the wrong gender, because there's actually a big fat fucking woman coming this way. You see, I'm making partisan jokes. I'm making jokes that apply to both feminists and anti-feminists, and piss everybody off, because I'm such a troublemaker. I think I was saying something worthwhile at one point or another. No, I doubt it, actually. I don't really know what the point of that whole little tangent was. The floor was shaking. There was something big coming from the other side of the hall. Chris just hid behind Lucario in terror. Lucario's eyes narrowed while Chris was hiding behind him. When they finally saw who was the source of the sound, both of them gasped. It's General L, Chris said. He saw General L standing in front of them, and he is so big.
I've learned my lesson from the last battle, so I've used the help of some shadow bugs to make me bigger than you. You're now going to die, General L said in a deep tone. See? The deep tone joke, I've been joking about that since the very first episode, whenever Lucario was introduced, when he said, oh, he's got a deep voice, and I put on the silly high voice, which I have maintained since then. It's like, is it really all that funny? I don't know. Stop now. We know you're just a Lucario, and your trainer is Riley, Chris said, glaring at his enemy. Riley? Riley?
General L muttered to himself. He placed his hands on his head.
I don't know anything about a Riley. Chris, it's hopeless. We need to defeat him to save him, Lucario said. Defeating me? Ha! I want to see that if you can, General L taunted.
Oh, I'm so sick about your way to talk now. You're not like that in reality for sure, Chris pointed to General L. And I won't let you get away with this. You will return to Riley, you like it or not. Victory Road. Oh, it's a song. Fuck you. What? It's a Pokemon song. Oh yeah, well, it's Lucario's. Chris, is everything okay? Fox asked. Not at all. We're fighting a big enemy inside the station right now. How about you? Chris asked, dodging a big force palm. They're firing big missiles at the station. Hopefully Wolf and his team came to help us. Hopefully Wolf and his team came to help us. Alright. We're not helping you. I won't let anyone else besides me to kill you, Wolf said. Stop arguing, guys. We have to defend the base, Crystal said, snapping everyone out of their discussion. Stop moving around, General L shouted as he tried to hit Lucario or Chris.
Lucario rolled on the floor behind the big general, and he did a combo of the punches behind him. General L yelled in pain, and he quickly turned his back to kick Lucario, but Chris changed his job to the PK Kid job again, and he used PK Flash, exploding right into General L. He fell on the floor, but quickly got up. "Take this!" General L punched Lucario in his body, and Lucario crashed into a nearby wall. It's always the fucking walls, especially with General L. Crashed into a nearby wall. Chris saw this, and he quickly thought about an action. He suddenly learned another new technique. It was PK Fire. What? He moved his hands behind him and shot a tiny lightning from his... So he learned a new technique in an instant, and it's called PK Fire, and it doesn't involve fire. Okay. He moved his hands... The PK Fire is one of the things Ness used. In case you forgot, he moved his hands behind him and shot a tiny lightning from his fingers towards General L. He was engulfed in a pillar of fire, and Lucario saw his opportunity, and he used his smash forward attack to do some serious damage to General L. See, let's just compare and contrast, alright? Because whenever Chris gets hurt, Lucario fucking loses his shit. And he just goes, "Ah!" and he punches the shit out of whatever does anything and probably kills it in a disgusting and horrific way, like the caveman or the goat or whatever. Or the crocodiles, I remember the crocodiles. But in this case, when Lucario's really hurt, Chris thinks about it rationally, and he picks out a useful technique that will allow him to attack General L, while also, or at least immobilize him temporarily as well, so Lucario can get his own back. You see, that's like almost approaching actual tactics. Almost. Missiles approaching, they are targeting the gate, Rob said. More missiles came from the purple vortexes. Wolf and his team went there to destroy the missiles, with Fox and Falco following behind. "We're almost finished with the device. Hang in there, team," Beltino said. "Just how many missiles are they going to send?" Falco asked. "The necessary to destroy the station and the gate. Hurry up and destroy them," Fox commanded. Back inside the station, Lucario charged up an aura sphere as Chris was continuing his attacks using PK Fire over and over again. When Lucario finished, he fired the aura sphere, and General L was getting badly hurted. Even if he was a giant, he was losing. Oh gosh. He charged up a big dark sphere. He shoot it at Chris, but he used PSI Magnet to absorb the sphere, and he was healed. "Oh, I'm feeling better," Chris said, smiling. General L charged another big dark sphere. Chris knew he was going to do the same move, and he activated the PSI Magnet again, but General L stopped. And he ran towards Chris, and he kicked him. Then he proceeded to grab him, and he threw Chris again towards the roof. "Lucario!" Chris yelled in pain. Lucario glared at his enemy, and he ran to General L, and he started to punch him in his stomach. General L released Chris from his grasp, and he was about to punch Lucario, but Chris interrupted him with a PK Flash. "How is he resisting all that damage we have been causing to him?" Chris asked. He was panting heavily. "He is not going to last any longer. We're winning this fight," Lucario stated. 10 missiles approaching. They are targeting the gate," Rob said again, confirming more missiles. 10? Slippy said, surprised. "Grr! I won't let him laugh at me. I'm coming," Mewtwo said. Oh, damn. Mewtwo said, awakening from his unconsciousness. He grabbed his right arm with his left hand and he floated slowly. As the long struggle was continuing, Chris and Lucario were getting exhausted. General L, on the other hand, was worse, but he was able to stand up. That's the sound of Mewtwo coming. No, it's General L doing some bullshit again. He charged up his fist and it collided with Chris. He was sent flying at high speed, crashing to another wall. He yelled in pain and he landed abruptly on the floor, fainting in the process. "No! Chris!" Lucario said when he saw Chris unconscious on the floor. Then Lucario glanced at General L, and he glared menacingly at him. I remember that. Aura Channeler Chris used to write that a lot. He suddenly started to glow intensely, and his eyes turned yellow.
"You're the only one left. This is going to be easy,"
General L said, panting. Much for his bad luck, when he blinked, Lucario was already punching him very hard in his body. Every single punch Lucario was dealing, it was like bombs exploding right in front of General L. Lucario did a series of punches, kicks, jabs, grabs, aura spheres, and even force palms. General L was getting weaker and weaker. Lucario then stopped in midair, and he kicked General L very hard on his face, that it made him crash quickly into the wall.